I just found something in my garage. It's been wrapped up in a plastic bag that stinks.
Okay, what is it?
It's a little baby.
Pleasant Grove police received this chilling 911 call. Upon arrival, they met Darren West, who was visibly shaken after speaking with his wife, Megan Huntsman, about the grim discoveries in his garage.
And I just said, what the hell is this? What have you done? And I always found something. She goes, oh, you did?
Get them for it.
Don't call the police. Don't call the police.
As they stepped into the garage, they had no idea the horrors that awaited them inside.
I remember there being some sort of form of tape. As we got deeper into that box, we'd find a second child.
There could be more. Like I said, I can't remember a damn thing.
How many do you think there would be?
Holy what is going on?
On April 12, 2014, Darren had just returned home after serving time in prison for drug charges, only to stumble upon a horrifying scene in his garage and made this disturbing 911 call.
Pleasant Grove Police.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Can I have an officer come to this address?
And your name?
My name's Darren West. I just found something in my garage. I think it's a miscarriage.
Can you be more specific? What do you mean by a miscarriage you found?
I have no idea. Just please send an officer up here.
It sounds like you may need medical.
It's been wrapped up in a plastic bag that stinks.
Okay, what is it?
It's a little baby.
When police arrived at Pleasant Grove, Utah, they saw the garage door wide open, and Darren stood outside with his family, who had come to help him move in. Just one look at him, and the officers knew they were in for something dreadful.
Who lives here?
Us three.
1, 2, 3.
It's a double house. The basement and the upstairs are two different.
My two daughters live here. See, we've been cleaning the garage.
Okay.
And then got a 48-hour pass, and I have...
Yes. We went on home and yeah, he was in a halfway house. You've been cleaning out the garage.
I'm trying to get, because I've been gone for so long. And
Anyway, there was a box over there. It was all wrapped up. And he says, what is this?
The box in question was an ordinary-looking fruit box, sitting just outside the garage, and its exterior was tightly sealed with electrical tape. Inside, they found a bag, also wrapped in layer upon layer of duct tape, as if someone desperately wanted to keep whatever was inside, hidden forever. When the investigators finally peeled it open, what they discovered would haunt them for years to come. It was the lifeless body of a fully decomposed baby.
There were ceiling on all three walls. There's hundreds of boxes. How are we going to get through all of these? So we contacted the medical examiner's office, and they sent out an investigator. Bewilderment, shock. I was speechless. How could you fathom something like that? The big obvious question is what is this child doing here? Who's the mother? Where did it come from?
The officers quickly sealed off the scene, unsure of what had truly happened. But one thing was clear. It was now a homicide investigation. They began searching the area, moving from box to box, not knowing that what they had just uncovered was just the beginning of a much darker and more chilling story. But the question was, where was Megan? Right now, she was the only person who could hold the answers to this troubling mystery.
Let's start off with, is it your wife? Or your girlfriend?
I'm still married to her, but...
Okay. So legally, according to the law, it's still your wife?
Yes, sir.
Okay, why don't you tell me what her name is?
Megan Huntsman. What happened is when I went to prison, she stuck around for 2 or 3 years and she took off.
But she is with a boyfriend now.
Where is she?
In West Valley somewhere. We just had her on the phone. She said it was his.
And I just said, what the hell is this? What have you done? I always found something. She goes, oh, you did?
Get them for it.
Don't call the police. Don't call the police. I'm going to get it.
So she said it was yours. Logically, is that true?
I don't know, man. I never knew she was pregnant.
So, for the time being, the officers focused on Megan to understand about the unfolding events.
Are you able to help us understand what's going on here? It was a miscarriage.
It was like 9 years ago when we first left.
And how far into your pregnancy were you?
Like 7 months. It was born, stillborn.
How soon can you come down here? Our detectives need to ask you some follow-up questions so that we can, rule out any kind of foul play.
Okay, there was no foul play.
Okay, listen to me. I need you to stay at your residence. We're going to have a West Valley City officer come pick you up.
It wasn't just Darren who was disturbed. The neighbors had also noticed a strange, foul smell coming from the garage. As more officers arrived at the scene, they were tasked with meticulously searching every inch of the property of what was quickly becoming known as the House of Horror. Meanwhile, Megan was brought in for questioning by Detective Beckstrom. His first goal was to understand why she had hidden the baby, instead of reporting it to the authorities or seeking medical help. However, in a few moments, the story took a turn more twisted than ever.
Well, you know why we're here, what we're here to talk about. Just start at the beginning and tell me what happened.
Well, we were doing drugs a lot. That's what he was in prison for. I got pregnant right before he left, and I really didn't know because I thought it was just stress and stuff.
He went to prison in 2006?
Yeah.
How far along were you when he
Like
went?
a couple months.
Where did you have the baby? In the house that you and Darren lived in. Okay. Describe to me what happened.
Well, I was having a lot of pain that day. I didn't go to work. My kids were at school, and I went in the bathroom and just sat there and just pushed really hard. And I was blue and wasn't crying. And I was by myself, and I didn't know what to do. And I couldn't get it to cry or anything.
Then what happened?
I got scared and I wrapped it up. Not being smart and calling you guys, I was in shock. It was stupid of me to do it.
What do you mean when you say you wrapped it up?
You remember? It was towels or garment bag or something. I put it in a box.
What would you have done differently, looking back?
Called the cops and told them that I had a baby and that I couldn't get to breathe and have the paramedics and stuff come.
Megan repeated the same story she had told Darren, that the baby had been a stillborn. Despite appearing visibly upset, there were many details in Megan's account that just didn't add up.
Okay, so you're on the toilet, you have the baby. You said you tried to get it to breathe. What did you do?
Well, I tried just to clean his mouth out and stuff, and I couldn't get a response at all.
Okay.
I couldn't feel a heartbeat or anything.
Okay. So you cleaned the baby's mouth out, tried to get it to breathe.
And I think I lost a lot of blood. And then I just remember my kids got home from school and I just told them I wasn't feeling them. And then I cleaned myself up and I went and got a box.
And then, as far as you know, unless someone else moved it, the baby's been in the box in the garage since that first year that Darren went to prison. Okay.
We clean that garage every year, so.
Were you worried somebody else would find it when you guys were cleaning the garage?
Yeah.
And so what would you do to make sure that didn't happen?
I just kind of slide it and like sweep around, and then set stuff on it and, but they knew that part was already clean and stuff.
Megan's story seemed like a justification. With her husband gone to prison, she was left overwhelmed with stress and was deeply influenced by drugs which clouded her state of mind. But the more the detective spoke with her, the more their doubts grew.
Because I was so scared, I don't know what I was thinking. I have no idea.
Do you remember if the baby was a boy or a girl? So, did anyone else know that you were pregnant?
I don't show at all.
Did you tell Darren?
No, I never.
Okay. Had you ever had any stillborn babies prior to that?
Miscarriages.
And on these miscarriages, did they all happen at home?
What happened at home?
All right. Is there anything else that you think I should have asked you that I haven't asked you?
I don't think so.
Is there anything else that you want me to know?
No.
We really want the right thing for this baby. A proper burial and closure for you and for your family. Your husband went to prison, you're raising the kids on your own, and you're overwhelmed, and I can understand that. I mean, Darren just found out that he had another kid that he didn't know about, so.
I totally understand that.
What do you think proper closure looks like? Anything else?
I mean, Going to jail.
Well, it's clear that we think you should go to jail for this, that you recognize you've done something wrong. We haven't made any decisions like that. We're still just trying to put the story together at this point.
What struck as odd was Megan's fear of going to jail if the baby was truly a stillborn. If no crime had been committed, aside from the unlawful disposal of the body, why did she carry such a heavy guilt? There was something deeper she wasn't saying, and the detective could feel it. Meanwhile, at the house, the officers pressed on with their search, which led them to another suspicious box. Inside, they uncovered a deeply disturbing scene. That was just the start.
I remember there being some sort of form of tape over it, and then as we opened it up, there's heavy padding and packaging, more plastic wrap. As we got deeper into that box, we did ultimately find a second child. I felt angry, and I remember thinking, what in the actual hell is going on?
Each box they opened carried an overpowering stench, with a strange liquid seeping through the bottom of the bags inside. The officers immediately reported it to Detective Beckstrom, who confronted Megan in hopes to get answers, but nothing could have prepared him for her response.
We have investigators in the house right now. They found a second baby. Will you please tell me about that?
There's more. Okay, I'm sorry. I have hit every one of them, and he had to have known I was pregnant through most of them.
There's others? How many?
I'm not even sure. I've done so many drugs and stuff during it all. I can't even remember.
When?
All through the years.
Megan had a long history of drug abuse, particularly methamphetamine, and was known to drink heavily as well. These addictions had ruined her ability to make rational decisions, but they were no excuse for taking a life. Despite her claims it was clear she was still hiding something, a truth so gruesome which would shake everyone to the core.
And if it's easier for you to remember, if we want to start after you had your first child, when you had the first miscarriage.
One, right after the dinner, I can't even remember. I remember when they had the child. They were all stillborn. Every one of them.
Were they full term?
No, without pain.
Okay, so how many do you think will we find in the garage?
Simply stumbled upon the body in his garage without any clue where it could have come from. Could he have known more than he was letting on? Meanwhile, back at the crime scene, officers made another grim discovery. The sixth and seventh bodies wrapped in sweaters and stuffed into a box inside a cabinet. It was a moment that left everyone reeling, but they still pressed on to determine if there were more than 7. They even searched Megan's former home in West Valley, leaving no stone unturned. While they found no additional bodies, they did uncover Xanax, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia, painting a bleak picture of her life. Megan Huntsman was arrested and booked into the Utah County Jail on 6 counts of murder. However, the case was far from complete. Still, there were pieces of the puzzle that didn't quite fit, and to fill in the gaps, investigators brought Darren in for questioning.
I'm Detective Dan Beckstrom, so I'm trying to talk to everybody, make sure I know that it's been a horrible day for a lot of you. So you're not in trouble right now. I'm just trying to understand everything that's happened. So she's saying that baby was a miscarriage after he went in prison.
That's what she told me. Is that what she's still saying?
Yes. We did get a search warrant in the house, and there's more than one. And so, how many times was your wife pregnant?
I have 3 daughters, and I know of one other time that she had a miscarriage. I never even knew she was pregnant with 2 of my daughters until she was like 4 or 5 months along. And then she told me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, sir.
How
many was there?
There was 7.
You were kidding me.
I'm not. She said that the first one was shortly after you moved into the house.
Oh my God.
And that the last one, she was pregnant by you before you went to prison.
Wait, so she says they're all mine?
That's what she says. And that's why I'm glad you're here, because I would have thought that if she was pregnant 7 times in the 10-year period that you lived in that house, that surely you would have known.
Holy.
Darren was visibly shaken by the disturbing revelations. He buried his face in his hands and began to sob as the weight of the situation hit him hard. But despite his tears, there was more he needed to explain.
You said you knew that she was pregnant once. Are you talking about one other time than the miscarriage, or are you talking about something else?
That's the only time I know. I was so messed up on freaking drugs, and I don't know what was going on.
I can tell that you know about more than what you're telling me. Megan hid pregnancies from everybody until shortly before she had kids. But you're saying that she told you when she was 4 months along. I believe that you knew about these pregnancies.
I swear to God, I never knew about all these pregnancies.
But what's happened here is tragic. But I don't think that you killed these babies and hid them. I think that you were married to a woman who was going to do it her way, and then you were done fighting with her, and so you allowed her to make these decisions. Is that what happened?
I never would think that she would put babies in a box and freaking...
So what did you think she was doing with these pregnancies?
I didn't realize she was pregnant 7 freaking times.
I'm a married man. You know your wife's pregnant. And so she's telling me that the only one that you weren't around for is when you went to prison.
Honest to God, I didn't know that there were 7 babies in my garage.
I know.
I never knew there was 1 in there. Do you think I would have go out and clean the garage and then, you know what I mean?
I understand where you're coming from. I'm not saying you knew they were in the garage, but I'm saying you had to know that they were brought into the world.
Even though Darren had no idea about the pregnancies, the detective wasn't ready to accept it at face value.
Your wife has admitted to some crimes, to some horrible things. She admits that she killed someone after they were born. Like I said, she's being completely honest, and I really wish you were too.
What do you want me to say? I didn't know she was killing kids, and I didn't know she was put in boxes. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how she could give birth and then... I don't know.
Were you there when any of these were born?
No, sir. No, sir. I swear.
What we want to do is we want to do what's right. We want to have closure for these children. We want to have closure for your kids that are alive. For these babies' grandparents. I mean, these babies were in a garage for years.
I never knew that, though. I never knew that. I didn't want to say nothing else. This is looking bad. I had no idea that she was killing kids and putting them in boxes. I swear to God.
Okay.
But I want an attorney, though. Wouldn't you?
I can't give you that advice. I'm not in your situation, and I don't think I ever will be.
No, you won't.
So. Okay. All right, hold on just a second. We'll get you upstairs in just a minute.
Although Darren seemed like a potential suspect in the case, there was no evidence to link him to the murders. Eventually, Darren requested an attorney, bringing the interrogation to an abrupt end. What worked in his favor was a simple but strong point. If he had known about the bodies in the garage, it was unlikely he would have started cleaning it so soon after his release from prison. Darren was released from custody, and the investigation moved forward with Megan still behind bars. All the evidence collected from the garage, including the boxes, plastic bags, and layers of duct tape, was sent to the lab for analysis, and the results were conclusive. Every single fingerprint belonged to Megan. Not a trace of Darren's prints was found on any of the items. With this, the focus shifted to the medical examiner, where DNA testing was conducted to confirm the father of the babies. The results were as expected. Darren was the biological father of all 7 children. However, one heartbreaking fact remained clear. During their entire 10 years of living together, and even after he went to prison in 2006, Darren had no idea he had fathered 7 children. Megan had hidden everything from him and everyone else. It was now time for the final decision.
Justice for 6 babies killed right after birth by their own mother as she pleads guilty to 6 counts of murder.
And the judge gave her the maximum sentence that could keep her locked up for the rest of her life.
On February 12, 2015, Megan was formally charged with 6 counts of first-degree murder. Having admitted to killing 6 of her children while claiming one was stillborn, she was sentenced to 6 terms of 5 years to life to be served consecutively, which meant she would spend the rest of her life in prison. The case left everyone involved deeply shaken. It was incomprehensible how a mother could commit such horrific acts. It also highlighted the devastating impact of drugs, which had completely destroyed Megan's mental health and led her down this dark and tragic path.
Megan had a family that she was raising. But on the flip side of that coin, she also had 7 dead children in her garage that she had murdered. I don't know what her motive was. I don't care what her motive was. But the fact of the matter is she did it, and that was unfathomable to me.
What are your thoughts on this case? Was it just drugs which led to Megan killing her children, or were there some other dark motives? How did Darren not know anything about his wife's pregnancies after living together for 10 years?